Welcome. We'd like to introduce you to one of our new instructors here at the Peoria Art Guild, Camron. Welcome.
Hi, thank
Very
you.
excited. You're starting what do you call your genre of drawing?
I'm an illustrator, and I have been working in the comic industry for the last 7 years. And I've interned actually before at the Peoria Art Guild when I was going to ICC just down the road. And having a community support in illustration and freelance and working your way into the industry has been important. So, we'll go into that later. But yeah, illustration, and I've worked specifically in books. So that's comics, covers, children's books, anything from trading cards to any sort of freelance design.
Yeah.
So
terrific. Now, do you consider your stuff, your drawings and that, more towards the anime, to the graphic,
sure,
novel type of thing, or which?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I can kind of like touch on what I feel. So, I mean, I've always been interested in cartoons, animation, and that ranges from Disney to Adult Swim, right?
Yep.
And I mean, I've always been interested, whether it's anime. I started with Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, very popular shows when I was young, and now anime is really taking over. And as far as really illustration goes, I mean, I haven't worked specifically in anime, but I've taken on a lot of commissions that have featured characters from anime to popular cartoon characters or comic book characters. And really that's kind of how I fell into comic book illustration, was, making sure I was consistently and constantly working on artwork and drawings, and then finally, pumping out content enough to catch the eyes of those who I've been a fan of since I was young. So
I think what's interesting is that they're such specific drawings, yet they are really tending towards fine art.
Sure.
They're not just like the Disney cell that we know is just one of multiples that they have to put together to create the animation.
Right.
But instead, you've got these characters that you've developed, and so what is the most famous? I know you're working on 2 new projects, and I think most people will understand that that's a big deal because they're very well-known projects.
Right. And I, to get these projects, I had to display that I can correctly draw these characters, yet have my own twist to them. And like you said, I've been trained classically, really. I trained in painting and acrylics and pencil and charcoal, and really utilizing and honing in on those really made more digital aspects and digital styles of artwork easier, being classically trained like that. And so recently I've been working on trading card projects with companies like Topps, Upper Deck, and Cryptozoic on licensed properties like Star Wars, Spider-Man, Marvel masterpieces, and Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so it's been truly an awesome last few months. I traveled to Comic-Cons on the weekends, and Bone Check I worked on right out of college, really. Was working on that while at my day job. Whenever I could, I would always be working on panels separately. And then 2 years goes by like that, and I realize I've got enough work to form a graphic novel.
Do you start with the sketch first? And what can our students look forward to when you're
It's a great question. It's a great question because it depends on how you work. And once you realize that, figuring out how you enjoy working and how you like to work, you can really go back and forth with that. There isn't really, it's not necessary to write the whole comic book right away. It's not necessary to structure the panels. You can really just start drawing. That's really the only way to progress any of your art, is to make the art. So really, I went totally backwards with Bone Check. I worked a lot of panels individually and then combined them after the fact.
And then storyboard, so to speak.
Exactly. built storyboards and then put words in after. And then on the second book, once I started going to comic conventions and really introducing myself to people and making friends and talking and started working with them, I realized I can get it done twice as fast if I work on a different method. So really, that's what this class is all about. Is you know, it can be an intro to illustration, or it can be, you know, in a very advanced illustration course. What I would love this to be, and what I would want to see if I were just trying to get interested professionally in illustration, would be talking with somebody, like with an open dialogue session and a demo, and have a classroom full of people who are either going to watch how things are drawn and take some of the style and some of the techniques, exactly, some of the tools and utensils. I could talk endlessly about these things, and you know, whether you're copying exactly what I'm drawing or you're taking the techniques that I'm doing and creating your own piece, like this class is all about making something and realizing that.
And you have a lot of different levels too, from starting with children.
Absolutely.
And I think that is one of the best things, and one of the things, the mission of the Art Guild itself with our educational programs, is that we want to introduce art at a very young age. And like you said, if it sparks an interest and a passion, you may as well grow with that.
Pursue it.
You know, but even in today's society, adults are enjoying graphic novels more than ever. They're enjoying all this. It's not science fiction really, but it's a graphic interpretation of the world around us, and it's so much different than what we were used to when you were looking at through illustrations in a normal book from the library, let's say.
That's right. I mean, there is some sort of magic still to print and physical artwork. That's something I'll never go, you know, no matter how often I'm hired to create work on my iPad or through Photoshop, there's something special and magic and kind of timeless that'll never really escape us when you have the artwork in front of you, when you're reading the book in front of you, or the trading card, or whatever you have. It's important to kind of keep to the basics. So, yeah.
Very good. Well, I think that if anyone is interested in learning this, whether you be a young child or whether you be an adult or even a graduate, like at Bradley, they have a wonderful mixed media programs that include animation and gaming and all of that. And I think that your techniques and your philosophy would really spur them on to great success. And I hope that a lot of people will become interested. You're going to be here starting spring session, and then hopefully we'll grow and have the summer with the more advanced, and we'll just keep going from there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Scheduled throughout the end of summer.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And as long as students are coming out, I'm going to come out too. I mean, it's really me working on what I'm working on in the industry here. So I mean, it's great for, like we said, anybody starting, really interested in it, or somebody who, you know, just wants to see what it's like and try something out, because you'll never really know until you try it out. And I mean, I love talking and I love inspiring, and I mean, that's what it took for me to continue on the path of like professional freelance illustration. So yeah, come out and enjoy it.
Well, welcome to our faculty. We really appreciate it, and we hope that people will sign up.
Yep, check out our website, PeoriaArtGuild.org, for any classes.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thanks, Cameron.
Bye.